Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. The train on platform 1 is no longer bound for Liverpool. Medical tests booked in Liverpool or not, I'm sorry, but you are not going to be pulling away from this station, sunshine. Not that you ever wanted to in the first place, Mr. Romeo Lavia to Chelsea. Here we go. Deal agreed between clubs on final fee, short of 60 million add-ons included. Structure also agreed. Lavia will undergo medical tests this week. Just informed by the clubs that the agreement has been reached. Romeo said yes to Chelsea on Monday. If this isn't probably the most exciting time, other than when we're winning Champions Leagues and when we were winning Premier League 6 years ago, if this isn't the most exciting time to get yourself hyped for Chelsea Football Club and the future of this club, I don't know what is. If you haven't hit the like button yet because you're not happy about this news, then don't worry about it. You don't need to. But if you are buzzing, the way that I am, that Chelsea have signed probably the best 19-year-old up-and-coming midfielder in the world right now, Romeo Lavia, then make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to GBFC whilst you're at it. And as well as that, I posted 6 pieces of content on GBFC yesterday. It was officially a record. And I also launched a brand new channel with my good friend, Eunice Talks Football. The link to Shootout, our new channel, is in the description. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers already. Make sure you go and check it out. Subscribe to us. Understand the final fee for Romeo Lavia to Chelsea after agreement revealed minutes ago will be 53 million fixed fee plus 5 million in add-ons. Lavia will be unveiled as Chelsea player this week. We thought we were going to be getting him for around 50 million. Southampton obviously accepted an offer from Liverpool of 60 million. But again, this is the crucial point of all of these transfers that we're talking about. Caicedo, Lavia, even Michael Olise, who will probably be the next here we go at Chelsea. But today, in this video, we got another here we go. You're going to have to wait and see for this one too. But we signed somebody else for 16 million euros plus a 4 million add-on deal. Chelsea have signed Deivid Washington. I had to break it there, but we're going to talk about him in a minute. Romeo Lavia, what a signing this is. Not only have Chelsea totally stumped Liverpool, made Liverpool look a little bit silly. Henry came to Stamford Bridge, the Liverpool owner, the other day, and rumoured that was because he wanted to have contact, a little phone call, with the Premier League, with the FA, to complain about Chelsea and our ludicrous spending that just keeps on growing and growing. And unfortunately, in the process of spending his time worrying about everybody else, he's now lost yet another Liverpool DM target. Jurgen Klopp, there is a worry here. You've got Alisson Becker wanted in Saudi Arabia. Mohamed Salah reportedly opened talks yesterday and allowed his representatives to discuss a move to Saudi Arabia. Chelsea have potentially, in the space of 48 hours here, with the confirmation of a here we go for Caicedo, a here we go for Romeo Lavia, Chelsea may well have ended any of Liverpool's hopes of winning a Premier League again this season. And at the same time, when Chelsea confirmed this Lavia deal, if you didn't see the video I posted last night or yesterday afternoon where I'm talking about how Pochettino can line up this Chelsea team with Lavia and Caicedo together with Enzo Fernandez, it's a really good video. I think you guys should go and check it out. Also, I'll leave it as a card on the screen. But Chelsea now have got so many options. When we look at the injuries to Christopher Nkunku, we're trying to address forward areas with Michael Olise, deal being agreed, release clause activated. It's just a mental time for Chelsea news. But we are addressing virtually every single position that we needed to. Maurizio Pochettino has been brutal in his clear out of Chelsea Football Club. There's no future for Ziyech, none for Lukaku, obviously. No future for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Chelsea are also working on deals to sell these players as well. Let's take a look at the tweet here from David Ornstein. 4 hours ago, Chelsea reach agreement with Southampton to sign midfielder. Fee in place between CFC and Saints for 19-year-old Belgian. And he confirms here it's 53 plus 5 million. Subject to medical and terms being finalised, the move will be completed. I can see the medical being today. Chelsea have got Caicedo through the door. Keep the momentum building. Get him in the squad to face West Ham on Sunday. Manchester City scheduled to receive 20% of the profit Southampton make on the sale of Lavia to Chelsea, consequence of a sell-on clause inserted into the deal that took the 19-year-old midfielder from Man City to Southampton in the summer of 2022. This is crazy. Chelsea have bought Lavia based on the one season at Southampton that he had, but that's what people look at on the surface. As we've talked about a lot here on this channel, Joe Shields was absolutely key to bring Lavia to Southampton in the first place. When Joe Shields used to work at City, he also used to work at, he then obviously went on to work at Southampton, is now at Chelsea. Joe Shields was the one who wanted desperately Southampton to sign Romeo Lavia when nobody knew about him but him. Obviously then, Man City, they're not stupid, they might have a lot of money, but they're financially savvy. They understand that Lavia at Southampton is either going to be Lavia again at City in 2 years when there's a space room in Guardiola's squad, or when they listen to Joe Shields, who says to them, look, this kid, buy him now, because even if you get relegated, there's serious profit coming your way because he's the real deal. Look what happens. Chelsea come in £58 million later. Big money for Southampton, and that will help them try and get back into the Premier League with a rebuild. And it's a big profit windfall for Manchester City as well. Romeo Lavia is a Chelsea player, and if you ever had any doubts about the ownership of Chelsea Football Club and what they want to do with this club moving forward, do they care? Absolutely. Nizar Kinsella has said here, Chelsea are on the verge of tipping £1 billion. This isn't dollars, it was dollars yesterday. We were looking at a graphic in the live stream of all the signings. They even missed some in the Bleacher Report graphic that we showed. £1 billion worth of transfers since the Bowley Clearlake takeover 1 year ago. No club has ever spent as much as quickly in football history. Spectacular backing. Let's see if it delivers results. If you're not a football fan, you look at £1 billion being spent by Chelsea Football Club and you're like, why the bloody hell are you doing that? My girlfriend doesn't understand why I love football so much. When we've been making this many videos, she's going to like it when I take her for a nice steak for dinner when I get paid from YouTube next month. But the point of the matter is here, people just don't understand simply how much money there is in this sport. Chelsea Football Club, as an entity right now, have got the eyes of the world on them thinking, if there is fair play financial regulations in football, how on earth are they managing to spend this much money? Now, Chelsea, before this Romeo Lavia signing was here we go, we weren't even in the top 6 Premier League clubs this summer alone for net spend because we have made so much money from selling players, getting massive wages off of the Chelsea books. The new structure of wages at this club, you could look at it and people could be like, well, I'm not going to join Chelsea now. Lavia could be like, I'm not going to join Chelsea now because if only I'd have done it a year ago, I'd have probably got 200 grand a week just thrown at me. Now, we're actually offering decent wages that are actually affordable to the club, a sustainable wage model that includes bonuses for delivering on the field, which is the way it always should be. Don't go throwing 300 grand a week to Kalidou Koulibaly so that then when he's 10th in the Premier League and he can't get Champions League next year, he gives up. I'm not saying that Koulibaly is a scapegoat there for basically an entire team worth of overpaid players that we have now shipped a load of those on. Chelsea signing Romeo Lavia, the depth that we have in this midfield is absolutely sensational. And the medical, I firmly expect the medical should be done today. I don't really see why there'd be any other hold-up. We've got the here we go now, and Chelsea are on the verge of another completed signing and another club announcement. Let's see what we do for Romeo Lavia. Let's move into some more good news. This comes from PSG Reports. Pending confirmation, if all goes well, Hakim Ziyech will join Paris Saint-Germain. This is also great. Chelsea getting another decent wage earner off the books. Another player who's kind of just taking up a car parking space at this point at Cobham. There's been no plan for Hakim Ziyech whatsoever ever since Maurizio Pochettino came in. There were some people yesterday suggesting, well, maybe if Ziyech doesn't get a buyer, then we could just try him in the number 10 role. We need somebody there, and Kunku's injured. We may as well try Hakim Ziyech. No, Paris Saint-Germain, they wanted him in January, and I think it was probably Chelsea's fault why this didn't go through, but it didn't, and Hakim Ziyech will be leaving the club. We have got Another here we go. Deivid Washington has signed contract and completed medical as new Chelsea player. Official statement soon as deal finally signed for Santos, with Santos for 2005 born striker to join on €16 million plus €4 million deal. There were a couple of rumours when it was over the weekend and the Caicedo deal was at the forefront of everyone's minds and Chelsea's attention. This Romeo Lavia deal was also there, but it didn't need to be as tentative, I'd say, as getting this Caicedo deal done because of the way that Liverpool just swooped in and had a bid accepted from Brighton. There were some rumours that the deal for Washington was on hold, similar to why Chelsea cancelled Tyler Adams. We said it was because of the concerns about his injury, but it was because we were getting Lavia and Caicedo. We just found a better option. Financially, I think the Washington deal should have been done about a week ago, but Chelsea were waiting. Obviously coming from Brazil as well, he's a young player. Now we've got the here we go confirmed. I want to ask you guys this question for the comments down below. At the moment, we're seeing AC Milan, they want Armando Broja. Is there any way that with Chelsea looking a bit weak in striker position this season, we got Jackson, we're obviously very happy with that. Broja's still there. Is there any way that Deivid Washington comes in and he's part of the squad this season? 16 million plus 4, that's 20 million euros that Chelsea is spending here on another young striker. He's 18 years old from Santos in Brazil. Maybe he probably does go on loan, but is there any way that if Chelsea are priced out of a move for another striker target, if we can't identify the striker that we want and we know that Maurizio Pochettino sees this position as somewhere that we need to strengthen? Yesterday, The Athletic were maybe suggesting that Chelsea go for 2 attacking midfielders and a striker. That's 3 more signings on top of Romeo Lavia's confirmation today. And I don't think Washington is going to be included in those strikers that we see for the first team this season. This is a massive deal. Again, a very exciting player. Santos are really, really sad that Washington has left. They have super high hopes for this kid, maybe even higher than some of the other young talents that they have seen leave over the course of this summer. We move to discuss Newcastle are keen on signing Lewis Hall, this is from Fabrizio Romano, from Chelsea as new fullback as Crystal Palace deal is in standby. Hall signed new 6-year deal at Chelsea. This is confirmed. This is big, but could leave on loan. Not easy to find way due to FFP, but Newcastle interest is genuine. The interesting thing here is not easy to find a way due to FFP. But Lewis Hall has just signed a new 6-year deal at Chelsea Football Club. A move to Newcastle, when you look at Newcastle's team, you wonder, well, maybe they could do with an out-and-out left-back of good quality. If Lewis Hall was to go to Newcastle, Eddie Howe would make him the first choice left-back. I'm sure of it. Eddie Howe could see the quality when Chelsea went to Newcastle last season, even when we were rubbish. Lewis Hall was the best player for Chelsea on the pitch. A move to Newcastle would be amazing. The only concern with going to Newcastle is if Eddie Howe does give him that first team role and he gets a lot of minutes playing in the Champions League, then you could see Lewis Hall being in a position where he wants to push a move through to Newcastle. Maybe. He signed a new 6-year deal at Chelsea, but if you go to Newcastle, you're competing for the same positions that Chelsea are competing for. We strengthen a rival here. It's massive minutes for a young player, but is there any guarantee that if Newcastle are like, look, we understand this kid, Lewis Hall, he's the real deal. Don't really know why you let him go to us, Chelsea, but we want to buy him now, and we got a fair chunk of money coming from Saudi Arabia, so we want to buy your talent. Chelsea could be in a similar position here to that with Brighton, with Levi Colwill. And I think with Lewis Hall, when you look at Cucurella still at Chelsea, can we offload him? Is there a way? We want to sell Maatsen now, so maybe there is going to be less and less competition for Lewis Hall on that left-hand side of the pitch. But Newcastle, it's a worry. I don't want to be strengthening Newcastle if I can avoid it this season, because watching them against Aston Villa, they were fantastic. They beat them 5-1. They looked as though they're not going anywhere from the brilliance that saw them reach the Champions League last season. But Lewis Hall to Newcastle United. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Chelsea, incredible. We have announced 2 more. Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea, here we goes in today's Chelsea news video. I know it's late at the night, but if you did enjoy this, hit the like button. As I said earlier, subscribe to GBFC. There is literally an entire library of Chelsea content here on this channel. There were 6 pieces of content alone yesterday. If you want to see, the video I'd recommend is how Chelsea line up with Lavia and Caicedo in the squad. The link to that is in the description. And the brand new channel with Eunice Talks Football is also linked down below. Stay tuned for later on. We're not going anywhere. Come on, you Blues.